Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. Today we're gonna run a map we haven't run before with this character. Yes. So, we now have a Ghetto map. I ended up just trading for one. There are only a couple of alks each, so the low level ones. If you're lacking one, it's easier to just buy one than to, in my case, run a map 6 times in a row and still not end up with a new map. So, we have patches of desecrated ground, more rare monsters that have a nemesis mod, monsters with cold resistance, again we don't care about that, and monsters have chaining skills. So the combination of nemesis, more rares, and chaining is gonna get interesting, as well as desecrated ground is really not that interesting for us because we have so much resistance. We can just ignore that. But nemesis chaining could be fun.
Amongst the rabble, brutality is the law.
For some reason I am now thinking of I am the law. Because of course that's a very, very fitting reference. Judge Dredd, people, if you haven't seen it, go watch. So the totems are taking a bit more of a punishment than they normally would, which makes sense because the projectiles from those frost mages are actually arcing around like mad. Our golem was in a not quite happy state, but we just play this slowly, safely. We're gonna get out ahead. Okay, these golems are just gonna be slow and they're a bit resistant to get pulled in, it seems. So we're just gonna bring the fire totems to them. I mean, if they're too slow to walk in, then they're also too slow to walk out. That's what I'm thinking. So far, the game is agreeing. Okay, there's some tapestries over there. Well, not boss tapestries. Ooh. Let's not get hit over here, shall we? Floating as they might be, they do get dragged in. Okay, we got some chickens over here. Or rather, they're turkeys, right? They're turkeys. And then we go there, and there, and burn. And I'll just dodge out of the way. And I kill my golem. Buggers. So I think I have ran this map as a Zana map for the Toxic Viking. It's looking familiar. Besides the obvious similarity to the Sarn areas. Also, walk through some fire there. I think we have run this before. And what I remember mostly from it is that this is hard to fully complete. Navigation is difficult because it's open, there's just lots of height differences and things like that. So something... it's you. Foul Totem up there. Yes, you are making them immortal. No, it's not. Okay. Touchy Venerable Shrine. Okay, now it's gone. So it appears we did kill the rare. Just needed a slight extra bit of encouragement. Just like you do. So what often happens, and what seems to happen here as well, is that if you spawn certain mods for your map, like the chaining or multiple projectiles or things like that, then the monsters on said map are gonna be slightly biased towards using that. Could be that it's actually that there's no bias at all, but that you just pay more attention to it. But it always feels like it that way. Like there's just a couple more ranged things. But no, the human mind is really predisposed to just see patterns everywhere. So it could be that really there is no pattern. I just want there to be a pattern. But so far I haven't encountered maps where multiple patterns or chaining or something like that was added to the map, and there were no monsters on that map that could take advantage of it. Rather the opposite. It always felt like there were a couple of monster types that were pretty well suited to take advantage of it. And similarly, if there's certain elemental advantages, oftentimes there are monsters that are native to that element or have an affinity with that element to take advantage of it as well. Okay, so it's naturally to go down here, but let's first complete this upstairs area. Then at least we can leave this behind us. Also, there's a lot of spiders just creeping about here. Not really looking strongly motivated to do some killing. Or to get killed, that is. Okay, because here, yeah, we were already. Now we can push onwards and then we'll do this area. Yeah, oh, you get run in. There's a unique here, the Reaver. Ah, yes. It's the boss version of Perpetuous. He's not that impressive, to be honest. Ghetto map. Look, we are in a ghetto. Now a ghetto drops. Okay, why are you doing this? Oh, let's be positive about it. We finally found a ghetto map. All it took was for me to actually trade for one in order for them to finally start dropping. Yeah, it's if I just compare this with my experience with the Toxic Viking. Toxic Viking just had no issues finding new maps. It's quite the opposite. It wasn't until I got into like tier 4, tier 5 maps. The Phantasmagoria. That's one I actually ran again as a square map, I think. Or I just had some issues finding it in the first place. But up until then, maps just kept dropping and dropping. But again, I did have access to Zana there, because I already had Zana at level 4, level 5 from having it unlocked standard. So having Zana available to just buy the missing maps is great. But if you have Zana, if you have Zana at, well, not at level 1, but if you have her at a level where you have dailies, then you can always reset your mapping pool and try to find the missing map the next day. So it gets a little easier. And that currently, that feels like a biggest design oversight or design mistake, depending on whether it was intentional or not, about the Atlas of Worlds update. If you don't have access to Zana, then you can get your map in a weird stuck state, where having access to daily Zana missions will give you the option to refresh the maps she has available for sale every day, and therefore you can get yourself out of a stuck state. Because one downside of maps only dropping from adjacent maps now that you don't have unlocked yet is that you need to actually have specific base maps that you have to rerun multiple times if you're specifically looking for another map. Where before, if you had a tier 1, you could get a tier 2, any tier 2. It wasn't that you needed a specific tier 1 in order to get a specific tier 2 map. And that changes Well, in this case, you see it's kind of working against me. And my reaction as a player is to get slightly frustrated with it. But maybe, you know, the secret master plan of GGG is to get people to get frustrated enough that they'll start trading. Even if they're not naturally inclined to start trading, which, I don't know, as a design decision it would feel dodgy, so I don't think that really is it. But yeah, it does feel weird. Otherworldly, yes. We'll send you to the other world. Don't have any confusion about that. Whoosh. Come on. You as well. Come on. To the other world you go. Problem solved. Oh, and a spider. Here, have it done. Okay. 8 monsters remaining. And oh, look, it's 8-legged monsters. There is a very nice numeric coincidence over there. And there you have it. That was the Ghetto. It was really quick. And again, no master, no Zana. But we did ended up completing the Ghetto. So for the next time we can do either a sewer or an arid lake. Because those are the tier 3s we have left still. But for now, this was a very short map run and I'm gonna thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.